How many of you watched the Oscars last night? Well, if you missed them like I did, you probably woke up this morning to all of your social media websites blowing up a post about how the one and only Leonardo DiCaprio finally won his first Oscar after being nominated time and time again. Now, unless you're one of the girls crying over his long overdue win, you probably heard him mention climate change in his acceptance speech. If Leonardo DiCaprio is concerned about climate change, then we definitely should be concerned about climate change, right? So what exactly is climate change? Nowadays, there seem to be many definitions for this problem, and whether it's a social, political, economic, or even a moral issue. Throughout this speech, I hope to define climate change and explain why individuals should care about such an issue. In order to fully understand the climate change epidemic, I will explain the definition of climate change. First and foremost, climate change is simply noticeable climate patterns due to an excess amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere because of the use of fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are made up of decayed plants and animals that form organic compounds by being exposed to heat and pressure within the earth over a period of millions of years. According to Mark Berliner and observations made by the Intergovernmental Panel of Climate Change, the Earth's average surface temperature has increased by 0.6% in the last century, and that the 1990s were the warmest decade since 1861. Not only has surface temperature increased, but also ocean temperatures have warmed up by 0.05% within the last 50 years. Lastly, IPCC notes that increase in levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere have almost doubled in the last 200 years. Now that you've heard some of the ways climate change is affecting the atmosphere, here are some of the ways human error can hurt the climate. Catriona Buchanan refers to a paradox that makes understanding the carbon footprint each person leaves in the world relatable. She states that if an individual turns up his or her thermostat, since that is only one single thermostat, the individual thinks there is no way they could possibly have contributed to climate change. However, if every individual has the same thought process, then after everyone's thermostat has been turned up, there are great emissions being contributed to Earth's climate. Almost every individual is at fault for thinking they themselves are not the cause of environmental struggles, including myself. However, if each person stopped turning up their thermostat and realized they were part of a bigger picture, that would be one step closer to helping our environment as a whole. After realizing how human error affects climate change, now we can discuss ways to self-regulate and create less emission in the atmosphere. Jeanette Webb from the University of Edinburgh discusses ways that the UK and Scottish governments have implemented behaviour goals in hopes that each individual practice personal emission regulation. A few of the behaviour goals consist of: for transportation, individuals should use more efficient vehicles and cars for shorter trips and avoid unnecessary flights. In homes, individuals should install insulation, have better energy management, and install microgeneration. While for waste, individuals should increase recycling, use less food, and be more responsible with their water usage, while also adopting lower impact diets. By partaking in behavior goals, an individual can begin to make a positive impact within the issue of climate change. Since there is yet to be one clear and succinct solution for climate change, being aware and making sure others are aware is the first step many need to take in order to help prevent further negative effects in the climate. A little goes a long way, so every change an individual can make in his or her life will better the atmosphere we live and breathe in every single day. So next time you want to leave the room without turning the light off, just consider the quote: "We want to leave the world better than we found it, and turn off the lights so future generations can have as happy and healthy a life as we do now." Yeah!